Let's talk about the death of the Pope and what that means for the future of some of these people that are in religion and globalism. We know that, I'm Scott Russell, we know that the current Pope that just deceased was a globalist. We also know that he was bringing things to try to get back to the original legalism of the Catholic Church. He had made statements about people needing to go through the church to access their faith instead of going directly to Jesus and praying and things like that. So he was a man that caused a bit of controversy in those areas, I think. But I personally suspect that we're going to see a new Pope come up that's probably going to be a bit of a younger man, a bit more hip. Not too young, but a little bit younger, not 80s in his 80s. And my suspicion, I don't know. And because they have this ecumenical center in Saudi, and they're trying to merge a lot of the unity of world religions. Now that's legalistic religion. That's not the religion of faith. They're trying to do deals to have that happen. And I think we're going to see a leader come in. I don't know how old he'll be, but he'll be someone that'll be a bit more hip, a bit more able to attract a following. And I think this man will present a false unification of religions. I have a Greek friend, and he seems to think that they'll try to merge the Orthodox Pope with the Catholic Pope. They've merged Easter this year and things like that. So it's all about works. It's all about the religion of works, not the movement of love and faith and life that is a true relationship with Christ. So I suspect that because we know that the Vatican and the World Economic Forum and the globalist, the globalist whole agenda are very synonymous, very attached to each other, very flowing in the same direction. One world religion. They need a one world religion if they're going to come in with this all these global authoritarian measures, and they're headed in that direction. So I do think the Vatican is behind a lot of this, the Club of Rome anyway, and they're going to promote that. So my suspicion is we're going to see a more hip Pope that's going to be a lot more appealing to the masses, and he's going to try to bring people back in, and the faithful, so to speak, to try to bring them back in underneath. And in that, introducing globalism, standing with globalism, standing with the World Economic Forum and the sorts. And, well, it's actually the other way around. The World Economic Forum stands with the Vatican. And I think that's who's behind a lot of what we're seeing here. But, it's something to watch. But I think it's a great time that know their God will be mighty and do great exploits. And I think if we walk in our faith, we walk in our conviction that's inside each and every one of us, really, that as we walk in the intimacy of God, the romance of God, instead of the taught love. We've talked about this transactional love, and religion is all about transactions. You do for me, I do for you, and we'll love each other. That's not love. The Holy Spirit's all about unconditional flow of love. And anyone that's been a victim of we all have been a victim of transactional love. We have never been good enough. And I think that comes back into ourselves, where we have transactional love in ourselves, where we're constantly trying to do things that make us feel good. But on the flip side of that, we have a love that just comes and washes through us, that is a romantic love that you can't control, you can't teach it, you can't fabricate it. It's something that when really Christ touches your life, it becomes alive in you. And I think many people see that through their gifts. There's like an invitation into the eternal of romance from God, from the divine. But anyway, I think right here we're going to get a separation. We're going to see an upkick in the merging of world religions, all talking the same language of agreement. I won't call it unity, because I think unity is holy, and these people are not holy in what they're doing. It's going to be an agreement to get things done, an agreement to control the masses, an agreement to get a one world religion. It'll still all have the same names, but if you look up that new ecumenical center that they've built in Saudi Arabia, you'll come to understand that there's a whole agenda here by the Vatican and by the globalist community to bring about one world religion, because they have to have a religion they can control. If they're going to control people, you have to be able to control them through their religion. And so they will outlaw faith. We saw it with the trucker convoy. We saw it with Epic in Australia, the Beehive in New Zealand, Hagerstown in America. The authorities came in with the religious authority of sense, came in and squashed what was going on, because people were moving in freedom and in love. For those that aren't familiar with it, look it up. I mean, people were just giving money to each other, helping each other. All things were counted as common. It was an incredible time that was sat on by the legalism of government, the legalism which aligns with the legalism of religion. Same thing. I've come from a fourth generation minister, in my family, and I come as a fourth generation minister. So I can talk about religion, and I can tell you now that there's a big difference between religion, the works of religion, and the freedom of the Holy Spirit. When I'm in a romance of love and a romance of freedom and life, then good follows that. Life follows that. Creation follows that. When I'm in legalistic religion of works, striving, then it's death. So, yeah, I think we're going to see a pope who's going to bring a lot of coming back to legalism and trying to bring about agreement between religions for this ecumenical center, which ultimately is fueling globalism. I hope I'm wrong, but I think not.